Welcome back everybody. Episode 13. Now F1 Manager 22 career mode. Role-playing as Dario Franchitti, being the boss of AlphaTauri. Got the Hungarian Grand Prix up today. Up to round 13 of the season. And we'll see what awaits us in Hungary. So not many things going on in the lead up to the race other than the chassis research that we elected to do a couple episodes ago is going to be done. So we'll have to find something else. I think we agreed that we were going to do research the side pods next, because that's the other part that's going to be affected by the new vehicle regulations for next year. So we will do side pod research. I like how it says chassis research complete. I get what they're saying. We're researching the chassis and we just finished the research, but it just looks weird. So just before we get to the research page, as you can see, we got an email from our tech chief telling us that the research on the chassis is done and how doing this will potentially give us a boost for next year. We might be potentially one of the only ones who are able to do research. I don't know, but we will find out soon enough. So I will go over to the research screen and we will see exactly what we have left for the side pods. Right, so we're in the research screen here, and as you can see, we've got 2.8 hours of our 5.7 fluid dynamics allocation left, so that's just under half. I think it's 2.8 and 2.9. And we have exactly half of our wind tunnel hours, so we'll crank all of that on. These are going to be the things that will be affected by the regs, drag reduction, and then the airflow in the middle and the front. 10% reduction to what we currently have. Engine cooling stays the same. So we have, it says we got 40 days to the next aerodynamic period. So as long as we take anything less than or up to 40 days, should be good. So I'm thinking we're going to go 2 engineers. That'll give us 37 days and 150 grand should be fine. Let's do that right now. And these are the current projects we've got. We've got some side pods coming in. Might get here in time for Hungary, maybe. And we've still got 16 days on the chassis. We're building 2 more of those. I guess we can make more things, so I'm going to make some more front wings. Since Pierre did destroy one last time out. So just before we head off to the Hungaroring for the next race, our tech chief did get in touch saying we have now finished manufacturing our new side pods. So I went ahead and put on some underfloors. So we've got some front wings being manufactured, underfloors and chassis. Everything will be done in a couple of weeks. I see we still have 9.5 million. So I think what I'm going to do, I might upgrade our team hub. Gives us a bit more team attractiveness and morale, as well as weekly experience gain for our staff. We'll be ready in a month. So after the summer break, I guess. After we get back from Belgium, it should be all ready. And it's only 2.2 mil. So we're going to grab that. And now I will catch you in Hungary.
The Hungaroring is abuzz with excitement as Formula One returns to Hungary for another round. We first came here in 1986 after construction on this purpose-built motorsport facility was completed. The Hungaroring is one challenging succession of corners and turns. With few straights, it's affectionately known as the go-kart circuit. Drivers will have to find a proper rhythm to make the most of the layout, and for cars, low-speed downforce will be paramount. The season is about halfway through, and it makes me wonder what else is in store for the teams. Well, there's only one way to find out. Okay then, Let's get to it.
From the looks of things, we're going to be expecting a dry race, but it could have some rain for qualifying. Depends when it's going to hit. It'll either hit in practice 3 or in qualifying, so we'll have to watch out for that, I guess. No worries on Friday, all fine, so I'll catch you after practice.
I think that was a crash. Let's take a look at the replay. We're just watching the Red Bull. Clearly something went... Sounds like we've had a spin. We can take a look now. Now let's have a look. It's Lance Stroll. And this, yes, this is where they spun out.
Yellow in the straight, yellow in the straight.
Here's the replay. All eyes on Kevin Magnussen here. And there we see the crash. Let's see what happened there. Now we see Valtteri Bottas. And yes, that's where they...
Let me give this one.
Copy.
Let's have a look. All eyes on Kevin Magnussen here. They spun the car. What a disaster.
It's just a yellow at the moment, just a yellow, keep the head down.
Let's take a closer look. Now just focus on the Haas. A definite collision there. That's very unfortunate. We can take a look now. Now let's watch this. The Alfa Romeo involved in this one. What a spin out! Welcome back to what is proving to be an exciting weekend of Formula One racing, with practice coming to a close today and qualifying set to follow. Whoever said every second counts clearly hadn't revelled in the sport of Formula One, where grid positions can be decided by thousandths of a second. The drivers competing today are amongst the finest in the world, but the margins are even finer. And as you can probably guess, there is no margin for error. Strap yourselves in. This is Formula One.
Okay, so all 3 practice sessions are now in the books, and we've had a pretty tough time of it actually. We were in the top 10 for all 3 sessions, so while that looks good, we are struggling a little bit on setup. We just managed to get Pierre a final run in, and I think he managed to get up to 91%, but Yuki looks like he's going to be stuck at 88, so we might not be able to get the full bonus benefits that we usually get. Few incidents, both Haas's had issues. He had, I believe it was K-Mag in practice 1 had a crash, and then Mick Schumacher decided to do the same thing in practice 2, so the Haas mechanics are going to have to work a bit of overtime to make sure both of their cars are in good condition for quali and then the race. Sergio Perez crashed in practice 1 as well. There are a few spins, but nothing really overly dramatic. There wasn't any multi-car crashes, and neither of our drivers had any issues other than just the little pop-up box for some of the parts are becoming worn. We're going to have hopefully fresh stuff for the race and quali, and you can see on there that both Verstappen and Alonso have penalties. I didn't notice any incidents with those 2 guys, so I'm wondering if they've used up their allocation of engine components, or maybe they've taken a new gearbox. I don't know, but regardless, they're going to have their work cut out for them as they start a little bit further back on the grid than where they are usually accustomed to. I will catch you after quali, where I'm guessing it'll be raining because there was no rain in practice 3. As you can see, it's a full wet track. We got just over 4 millimeters of water on the track, so full wet compounds. Yuki is going to be at an 88% confidence in the setup, as I mentioned earlier, and also Pierre just squeezed into the 90s. We have fresh parts for the race, no issues, no pop-ups are gonna happen for being minor wear. We're gonna use an older engine in Yuki's. He's only got 55%, but it is Hungary, so engine power is not critical. I will catch you after qualifying. An eventful session. It did go to inters really early on, so both of our runs were on the intermediate tires, the same set of intermediates actually, and Yuki just made it in by 3.5 tenths over Mick. Bottas did not make it in, so for the first time, I think this career mode, we have an Aston Martin into the second round of qualifying, so congratulations to Sebastian there. A mega lap means he makes it through at the expense of Valtteri. Stroll is a last man on the grid for tomorrow, depending on how big the penalties for Fernando and Max are, but he won't be happy with being out-qualified by both the Williams. Pierre put in a really good final lap there, as you can tell. I think just before we started our lap, our final flying lap, we were both in the drop zone. So they both did really good to get out of it, and we will see what Q2 brings. A really mixed up top 10 make it through to Q3 there. It started off dry, and then after about 4 minutes, it just started chucking it down. So we were able to get both our drivers out straight away, and Yuki just snuck in. I know it's 4 seconds, but he got held up really badly by, I think it was Lewis Hamilton, who was on his outlap. He held up Pierre a little bit, but he held up Yuki a ton, and I was not very happy with that. I'm surprised he hasn't got a penalty, to be brutally honest, but whatever. We didn't venture out again, we just did that run at the start. Since the rain stayed for the rest of the session, I didn't see any point in wasting any intermediate tires or even trying to risk it out on the slicks. So the 5 who missed out, you got Verstappen, Alonso, the 2 men with the penalties, Magnussen, Norris, and Guan Yu. The big surprise, of course, being Vettel makes it through into Q3, as does Danny Rick. I just spotted that, so pretty good effort there from the Aston and McLaren respectively. And we will see what qualifying 3 brings. You'd have to say that Sainz will be the favourite, although the Mercedes have been pretty rapid in practice, so we might get a different pole sitter today. We'll have to wait and see. We will definitely get a different pole sitter if the conditions are changeable and someone else times it perfectly. Okay, end of qualifying 3, and once again it's a Ferrari 1-2, so no real surprises in that one. Although you could potentially make the claim that Ricciardo out-qualifying Tsunoda is a surprise, but I don't know. I mean, the McLaren seems to be a fairly decent car at this stage. Pierre found a little bit of time on his final run, so did Yuki, but it wasn't enough to jump any positions. Hamilton did a real good job there to be P3 in front of Perez, and we managed to get just in front of Esteban Ocon there. Pierre did anyway. And obviously both Max and Fernando with their penalties and didn't qualify for Q3. They're probably going to be starting definitely towards the back. So we'll see how it goes. In terms of tyre strategy for this one, we managed to save an extra set of the mediums, and we also have 2 fresh sets of softs. So we've got 2 mediums, 2 softs, and the hards. I'm leaning towards using 2 sets of mediums and a soft based on the real life Grand Prix here. The hard tyres you wanted to avoid using at all costs. So I don't know if that is going to translate in the game or not, but in case it does, I figured we would try and save that extra set and see how we get on. I'll catch you for the race.
Here we are, folks. We're back for another day of scintillating F1 action. It's race day.
AlphaTauri did rather well in qualifying. Let's see if they can manage to achieve a strong start for the race itself. We saw a reasonable push from Mercedes in qualifying, and they'll have plenty of opportunities here to achieve a great result. The weather is very overcast here, and teams are staring at the sky watching for the first sign of rain. Strategies might have to be quite flexible going into today's race.
And we're just over 300 kilometers away from the conclusion of this Hungarian Grand Prix. And each and every one of them is sure to be thrilling.
So we're just in the strategy editor here because Karen Chandok thinks it could rain at some point, but it doesn't look like our forecast believes it will. We're going to go on the one stop here, although it does believe strategy B, starting on the softs, then going the hards and finishing on the mediums, is better by 6 seconds apparently. But I'm thinking we start on the mediums, we might go to another set of mediums and then finish on the softs. That's my thought process. It'll be the same for Pierre as well. So I think we will do that and we'll see how we go. Gonna go super aggressive as per usual. Off the line, see if we can gain a couple or a spot or two at least. Can't have as much fuel as we would like in this one. We only got 0.2 of a lap. And we're not going to be able to just burn the fuel like we've done in the last couple of races. Maybe instead of going medium, medium, soft, maybe we'll have to go medium, hard, soft. We'll figure it out.
It's a somewhat overcast day for the drivers, who've now taken position on the grid. And there we have Pierre Gasly. A top 10 position today, but will they be able to capitalize on it? The second AlphaTauri driver there. Not as close to the front as they might have wished for, but we know the race order can change a lot during those first few corners. Everything's been building to this. And here we go, with the Hungarian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go!
I see a lot of soft compound tyres. There's a bunch of mediums as well. Leclerc is on softs. Sorry, mediums.
We are currently P10, UK P10.
Pierre nearly gets around George there. Let's see if we can get around Sergio here. Got the inside. We got him.
Okay, that's
I'm going to go back on balanced for the engine here. And I think we'll go aggressive
stop this.
on the tire. Actually, no, we'll go standard for now. See what we can do if we just go deploy. We're going to have to monitor that gap, and the minute it gets beyond a second for both of them, we're going to have to do something here. Okay, Yuki needs to go a bit here. So does Pierre, so we'll go and push for a little bit. Ricardo gets around him. We'll go back to balanced for now. Oh, Yuki.
Copy, copy. Yellow flag 15.
Let's take a look at the replay. Now look at this. It was the AlphaTauri driver involved. Gaining a position there. Oh, they make it look so easy.
Wait, that wasn't the spin, okay.
The team watching on and clearly loving that.
I was expecting it to be the spin. There we go, 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 go.
Here's the replay. Now let's look at this. The focus on Sonoda.
Yeah, he just looped it.
There. That's the spin.
And he's going to be P last.
The team are devastated. They'll be questioning just what happened out there.
But according to Yuki, he's an idiot. I don't quite agree with that. We are going to have to push though a little bit, aren't we? So let's go aggressive a little bit.
You can push harder.
We just need to get Yuki back in that range. We'll keep him on standard, I think, for now.
Need to drop the base.
Okay.
And Yuki is nearly in range, so I'm going to go back to standard for him as well.
And slow down, Yuki. Slow down.
Copy.
Lewis leads.
Sounds like someone's locked up.
Oh, Danny Rick locked up.
Let's see what happened there. Daniel Ricciardo involved here. And yes, that's the lockup.
So Yuki is nearly in range of Mick Schumacher there, so that's fine. He is now. Pierre's hanging on to the back of Leclerc and Perez there. Tyres look okay for now. I'm curious what Sainz is going to do. Verstappen's dropped way back, actually. I just saw that. Ocon. Magnussen's hanging on to the back of Verstappen, but Ocon has taken off. Is Ocon... is just in range of George Russell, okay. Okay, now we need to... I think we'll push on the engine for a bit and save the tyre.
We've just had a spin. We can take a look now. Now let's have a look. It's Lance Stroll. What a spin!
That's where Yuki lost it. Okay, George needs to go though, because we're losing ground to Charles here. Hamilton stayed with Carlos. Actually got in front of him there, I see.
Alpha Tauri regained a place.
We're going to push on the tyres a bit, I think. See if we can get in range here. .4 seconds. Doesn't look like we are. Oh, Pierre gets back around George. And now we are coming up to Latifi. Lewis has the fastest lap so far. Albon went off there, I think.
I think there's been a lockup.
He did.
Let's take a look at the replay. Now watch this. Here's the moments involving Albon. Oh, and
Yeah,
there's
just-
the lockup. That's the last thing they'll have wanted.
And then has to wait while everybody goes by.
And that was a bitter blow for the team. And it may have really hurt their overall chances.
So we're going to keep going for a little bit here.
Martin have just gained a race position.
The fighting with Vettel is meaning we are way behind K-Mag.
Race position gained for Mercedes.
Verstappen is within range of us now.
Looks like there's been a lockup. Let's have a look. Now just take a look at the McLaren. It's a lockup, and that could be costly.
I'd like to know what Charles is going on here. It's like hards. Okay. What is Hamilton on? Hamilton is also on hards. So is Science. Okay. Yep, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to go on to hards this time by. So we're going to box Yuki here. We are going to go onto the hards, and we're just going to keep pushing on those, I think.
Let's take a closer look. Now look at this. It was the Alpha Tauri driver involved. And that spin is undoubtedly going to cost them time. The team are devastated. They'll be questioning just what happened out there.
Come on, Yuki, get it together, bud. Okay, and he comes, we're going to also pit him. We're going to pit both our drivers now. We're going to go on to the hard, and then we're going to just push, and then use a set of the softs at the end. That's my plan. Seemed to work okay for Pierre in France last time out. Hopefully it works out here as well. We're well behind Charles. There's Sergio. Okay, let's see how this is going, eh? We're just going to push. And hopefully this strategy works. There's been a crash somewhere.
Yellow in the straight. Yellow in the straight.
Here's the replay. Watch this. There's Leclerc. Oh, a nasty crash there.
Okay, that's going to help us. But Charles crashed right there. He's going to have to do a lap on a busted wing. Of course, we are within range, so we'll get DRS even if he pits, and he is. Thank you, Charles. Oh dear. Pierre's in the wall.
We can take a look now. Now look at this. It's Pierre Gasly.
That might be his day over.
They've lost control, and there's the crash. Crash down.
It's still going. Okay, we're gonna have to box him. Minor damage to the chassis, major damage to the front wing. Okay, so we are gonna have to pit him. How long did he go for? We're gonna box him. Car parts. Front wing. It lasted about 7 laps. Okay, that's fine. We'll give him a new front wing.
Box, 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 box.
And hopefully this goes alright. Mediums on. New front wing. And away we go. We're still going to box again, I think. Yeah, we will probably... Oh, should we? Maybe there's no point.
Need to drop the pace.
We'll try and conserve these tires a little bit and maybe push at the end.
Let's take a look at the replay. Now look at this. It was the Alpha Tauri driver involved.
Yeah, he's not having a good day, is he?
They won't have been expecting that.
We're going to have to pit him again.
The team are really disappointed with that. Let's hope it doesn't set them back too badly.
I've no idea what Pierre is doing.
Okay, Pierre, we don't have enough battery.
Okay, Pierre is it. We've got no tyres. Oh, there they are. And Sonoda just spun as well. This race has been terrible for us. That's where he spun at the start. Oh, this race is not a good one for us, eh? Just checking the tyres. So far, we're not too bad. Yuki has 70%. That's better than a few guys in front of him. And of course, Gasly's on the same tyres as Charles is. Verstappen looks like he's got it home free. He's got the lead and has a gap.
Stay on the left on the grid, there is a crash. Verstappen.
Verstappen crashed.
Oh, and that's a crash. Let's have a look. We're just watching the Red Bull. Oh, a nasty crash there.
Ooh.
And that was a bitter blow for the team. And it may have really hurt their overall chances.
I put the mocker on him. I said he looked very comfortable. You know what? I think we're just going to go all out here. And, yeah, screw it.
Push now on the tires.
See what we can do.
Let's go flat out, Yuki, flat out.
See if we can pull off something with the tires and stuff. I'm not making any ground on K-Mag. They're both done now, so I'm going to box both of these guys. I'm going to go on to a set of the softs for both of them. And hopefully this works out. I don't know who's going to get there first. Looks like Pierre is. So we're going to be lapped, of course. Here comes Hamilton, Sainz and Russell and Verstappen. There they go. Noda's in as well. Comes out behind Sergio. But we should be able to push a little bit on these tires.
So let's push.
Just a little.
Copy.
See if we can keep pace with the guys we're chasing.
Okay.
Oh, crash on the track, huh? Ooh.
Sounds like there's been a crash. Here's the replay. Let's take another look. There we have Joe. There's the crash.
It's a long way from home too. And being stuck behind George Russell is costing us everything. Overtake him, Pierre.
Keep an eye on your battery.
Perfect.
He just gets alongside and lets him past. I do not understand that. That's cost us everything. Actually, hang on. I guess we can watch Lewis. Or is it going to be sides? It'll be sides.
He's taken the
Thanks, George. You've completely screwed us over, mate. Remind me to never sign George Russell. We are never doing that. He's completely screwed us over there. Disappointing race. Pierre had 2 crashes. I think with the one, he probably would have been fine. But getting caught behind George Russell there was an absolute nightmare. I don't know if we would have been able to catch up to Zhou Guanyu or not, but we sure as hell would have been able to get in front of George and just go. I mean, look at the gap between him and Verstappen, right? No, Perez pitted, didn't he? No, it was Verstappen. Verstappen was near him. That's 11 seconds. That's... yeah, I'm not happy with George Russell there at all. Absolutely pathetic. I guess it's the coding.
And here's Pierre Gasly. A promising result from him today. AlphaTauri did all right for themselves, didn't they? Although, of course, there's always more work to do.
There's no rest for F1 teams. Let's hope their hard work can get them closer to exceeding expectations in the next race.
And after this result, the team is 4th in the constructor standings.
Next time, the teams will be adding another year to the legend of Spa-Francorchamps. Anything can happen at the Belgian Grand Prix.
Alright, so your finishes for the race, your top 10. Sainz just beat out Lewis by less than a second there. Verstappen had that race in the bag, but then crashed with, what was it, about 15 laps to go, 20 laps to go, something like that. He would have had that pretty comfortably. Still made up 16 spots to finish P3 though, so real good effort. Driver of the day, undoubtedly. Russell gets P4, Leclerc 5th, Perez 6th, Ocon 7th, Alonso up 12 spots to finish 8th, so a good day for Alpine there. Kevin Magnussen finishes 9th for Haas, and Bottas gets the final point. The bonus point for fastest lap went to Lewis Hamilton there, and outside the points you got Lando Norris, Zhou Guanyu, Pierre Gasly, who had a couple of issues today, 2 crashes, did not go well for Pierre. Ricciardo finishes P14, down 6 spots. Yuki 15th, so very terrible day for us compared to Alpine and Mercedes. Even Alfa Romeo up there, right, with Bottas getting that final point. Vettel finishes 16th, Schumacher 17th, Stroll 18th, and the 2 Williams boys, Latifi and Albon, bring up the rear of the field. The last 3 got lapped twice, and everybody up to Zhou Guanyu got lapped because Pierre could not figure out a way to get around George Russell. We did finish, what was it, it's like 25 seconds or something behind Guanyu, so I don't think we would have been able to do it, but without George in the way, I think we probably could have had a pretty good crack there. But anyway, doesn't matter. That's, you get races like that sometimes, right? Drivers' Championship, Sainz closes the gap down by 15 points. He's now only 13 behind his teammate. Verstappen breaks away a little bit from Perez. He's now 19 points clear. And that's really it. Lewis makes a big jump on Pierre today, obviously, 19 points to extend that gap. George jumps over Fernando Alonso there. Yuki stays 11th, so that's not terrible. Magnussen goes up to 13th at the expense of Danny Rick, and everybody else stays the same. McLaren are not having a good season. They're P7, they've only got 18 points. Yeah, it's a pretty ordinary one. Alpine gain 10 points on us, and we lose 31 points to Mercedes. We gained just under $4.3 million there. I guess the good thing is we do not have to pay our drivers bonus because they didn't earn it. We also missed out on one of our race things because I think it was you had to finish 12th. We didn't manage to do that. We should have done that pretty comfortably, but both Pierre and Yuki had issues, as we know. We're going to have to manufacture more front wings after that one. The board have assessed your performance as team principal for the season thus far and have compiled the below report. Season objective, they want us to finish 6th, we are currently 4th. The target is to score podiums in 25% of a season's races, and that's going to be in 2025. Mid-season board review. Given your performance, the board have decided to reward the below cash bonus based on their confidence in your leadership. $1.5 million there. So the board are liking what Dario Franchitti is doing and have given him an extra $1.5 mil there, so that's a nice little bonus. We have a development point for Gasly, so we're going to spend that. I think we're going to go smoothness for him because that seemed to be pretty poor in this one. There we go. I don't think any of the other drivers have one. Oh, Lawson's got 2. We'll give him a couple here. I think we'll get his smoothness. Oh, actually, should we get... I think we'll give him both in the reactions here. There we go. I don't know if Yuki has any. Yuki does not have any at this stage. First time we've seen this, the board is saying we had a tough race. Disappointed that the team performed below expectations. We know every team has bad races now and then, and we hope to see a return to form soon. I'm sorry to say that this has made us lose some confidence in your leadership. Yeah, I get that. So despite the poor race, the board has still got high confidence in us as team principal, so that is the main thing. I guess we can see if we can build any... We can't manufacture anything new yet. We are currently making 4 new front wings, so that's fine. And we're also making a few chassis, so again, that's alright. But that is going to be it. We have 25 days until the Belgian Grand Prix. So the F1 circus takes on their summer break, and so are we. We're going to have a break for a couple of weeks. I'm going to see if I can get a few videos done in that time, just to stay ahead of the game realistically, and we will see how the rest of the season goes. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Have an awesome day. Like, subscribe, and I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching.